Just a little recap. We looked at a series of wealth creation, if that is what it is. So we saw wealth as an idea. People misplace wealth as money. So we saw it as an idea. And we looked at the types, if you want to, of wealth. I'm looking at what we did last week. So we saw spiritual wealth, which people don't take care of. If you are spiritually poor, or if your spirit life is not in order, you're a poor man. We looked at scriptures. I'm just recapping what we did last so that I'll be able to. Then we look at holistical wealth, where you have to take care of your intellectual and emotional development. The mind needs to be enriched to be able to handle the body, the soul, and the spirit. So the holistical wealth, God gave man a brain without nothing in it. It is now left for you and I to improve and develop that brain by infusing knowledge. Knowledge is information. We know about understanding, which is comprehension. So we said the worst poverty, it's not those who lack money or whatever, but we know that the worst poverty is poverty of the
mind.
Exactly.
Of the
So
mind.
God gave us, like I said, the brain is for you and I to develop it. So holistical wealth was what Solomon asked for. He asked God for wisdom. He asked him for knowledge. He asked him for understanding. So for me, that's an important aspect of wealth that people ignore. The scripture said, I wish above all things, in the book of 3 John 1:2, that thou may prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. So we now saw that both your health and your prosperity is predetermined on your holistical wealth. So we also look at physical wealth. Why are billionaires dying? When they still have all the whole money in them, we notice that we don't take care of our physical health, which is physical. So we now saw that health is life. We need to take care of our health. Nothing is worse than a man's back down when he has a lot of ideas in him. We saw that. So we looked at disease, the preface and the surface of diseased, when you are not relaxed.
Yes, at ease.
Yes. So we saw that they need to secure your mind. When Paul the Apostle talked about be transformed through the renewal of your mind, detox your environment.
Yeah, keep your
Stop
environment
furnishing
clean.
negativity. I'm talking about the mind now. Exercise properly. Then we look at eating good food. A lot of people eat junks. We looked at some of the examples that God gave. I'm recapping what we did last week. So some of the examples that God gave, how he brought our fathers who lived healthier. Some of them lived up to 100. Why is it that we're not living up to 50, 54? Life expectancy index of Nigerians are barely 54, 55. And we are struggling with that. So we saw that they ate good food. He mentioned good meals, fish, garlics, watermelon, onions, and whatever. Good meal. Herbs, which he produced for us. Today, it's no longer herbs. We call them GNA. I'm not condemning it, but we manufacture all kinds of chemicals. Put them in a container, reducing our life expectancy with them. Feeding ourselves with chemicals. And that's horrible. So next we looked at social wealth. We talked about wealthy relationship. The people you meet and the books you read has a lot to do with your life. You are as poor as the kind of circle you. In fact, I said if you have a circle that is not adding value to you, you are not in a circle, you are in a cage. As a matter of fact, most people are in what I call circles because you are floating with a group of clowns. So it's important for you to know the kind of people you have yourself. A friend is an extension of yourself without which you are not complete. They don't sympathize with your weakness. They help you summon your strength. Who are those you fly with? Who are those you roll with? What kind of human beings? Are they the ones who bring out, because your friends bring something out of you? Are they the ones who they bring out negative out of you? Are they the ones who bring out the low? You know, we have the low and the high. Do you have the kind of friends who bring the low out of
in you?
Or that your friends, what do you even discuss when you are with them? Body parts, make jests, and all kinds of caricature. Is that the kind of people you call friends? So your social circle is very important. We look at social disease. That is when you have problems in your marriage, problems between you and your parents, siblings, and what have you. That's a social disease. There are possibilities that could cut down the vitality in your life. There are people that live in a very detox environment. That's social disease, as we talked about. So you may need to make amend. You know, sometimes people say they don't have money, but you have people that have money around you. People say they are not brilliant, but you have people that are very brilliant. who can motivate you, people that can inspire greatness in you. I talked about mentors. These are those who helps you get where you're supposed to, where you couldn't naturally have gone to. Not tormentors, innovators, people who see ahead of you, visionaries. You need them in your life. Those who will tell you the truth, not minding whose horse is God. So we looked at that. But today we're looking, I just feel before I go into what I have for the day, we looked at wealth in influencing life. This is part of it. You achieve this by making yourself valuable in your environment. That's a kind of wealth. You know, you live in an estate. I do tell people, say naturally leaders. People say a leader is born. You can't help but identifying what. They pack into a place, they begin to create influence. Positive or negative influence. That's what it is. There's somebody that will move into your estate. Within hours, all the children around that place will be corrupted. They start smoking. They start messing around. Bad influence. You don't even need much to know that they're packed in. They begin to show their presence.
Their presence.
Yeah. You begin to see all kinds of misbehave. And there's also somebody that comes in there. I mean, you begin to, what's going on? You start seeing your kids. I'm seeing some changes. This is not you. You tell you there's one uncle and the wife that packed him maybe somewhere there, and he saw me 1 or 2 times and spoke to me. We started rehearsing together. From there, he started teaching us. In fact, has even gone ahead registering us for exams. And does he know you know? He said he likes this kind of thing. The kind of influence you make around you and you keep around you is very, very important. That's wealth itself. Influence is all about leadership. Not leadership disconnect or followership disconnect. We have people, you go into a place, like I said, during leadership and mentorship. You're not known as a leader by whatever you think you're doing, but the people who came after you. You do hear people say, that guy made me. I can't tell you much story about, you can't close story about me without mentioning this individual or that individual. That's what influence is all about. So, good name is part of wealth. There are places you walk in for employment and you said, I'm Ania Abdul Salam. Abdul Salam from Kano, this thing you mentioned. Is your dad this kind of person? Go. The rest of you can go, we're done. And you're like, Sabet will be here before her. No? Your dad was a good man. That's wealth. When we go into generational wealth, which is the last one, you see how far such goes. Are you the son of this? And that's the kind of thing. Today you hear my name, Austin and Nadia. Oh, that woman came on the Thursday program. I don't have anything to give you, but God will bless you. You don't know what you are doing in my life. Think about that woman owning a company tomorrow, and maybe my child has need or something of that place. I mentioned, I said, Austin and Nadia, maybe several years ago, was it once in 8.9, that kind of thing. That person that speaks, these are wealth. Wealth is not just money you give people. Sometimes they even take the money and forget you. Build positive influence. Build name. Don't have the kind of name that when you mention it, they said, I hope your this name has nothing to do what I'm thinking.
It's not the same person.
It's not the same person that came into community, killed about whatever, did this. Because when we do something, just like Ahab. Ahab was asked, God wants to punish you. Do you want him to punish you directly? Do you want him to send famine to kill you through disease? Or do you want him to finish your children and say, you've mentioned the right one now. Will I be here when they will suffer? Let me enjoy myself.
You do them.
Go. There are people like that. That's not wealth. Wealth is the name you clear. You might think you're not getting much now. You get into certain office. There was one video that was going around on the internet. A gentleman, whether a teacher or something, that was living in a school. Almost all the teachers were shedding tears uncontrollably. I watched that video several times. That's what wealth is all about. That's what influence. And he was hugging them one after the other. What did he do to them? Are you the kind of person when you are leaving a place, people will be going for Thanksgiving?
Finally.
Hey, finally. Good riddance. So God can answer prayer. Good riddance. That's not wealth. That's not positive influence. Imagine a gentleman that people describe as the richest man in the world. He bought a particular platform. Everybody in that place started resigning. He has money. I mean, you should have been happy to say, so he bought this place. Hallelujah. We're going to make money. They were resigning. Take your money.
Keep your platform.
Keep your platform. We're not interested. Are you that kind of person that you come in, everybody's leaving? You're like, but I'll pay you $1 million. Say, add it to, I won't work with you. You don't have character. You don't have virtue. You don't have legacy. You don't have something I'll be proud of. I don't want to associate with you. Your name is not something I want to go anywhere with. I don't want to dent myself with your image. That's poverty. That's not wealth. So influence. Look at Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 1. Somebody was saying, can I read Bible? This is my lady. We have forgiven her.
Oh, Lord, have mercy. Ecclesiastes
7 verse 1.
7:1.
Mm-hmm. We're looking at wealth and influence, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just a moment. Let me open it up.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 1. Yes.
Okay, from King James or?
Just read.
Okay.
It's okay for us. Mm-hmm.
From King James, you have a good name.
A good name
is better than precious ointment.
That precious. I don't care how much dollars is sold. A good name. Are you living a good name? You know, there are people that say, I don't care.
I'm enjoying whatever.
No, the next thing you hear is my life. If you like
life.
it, that's your business. You think I care. Okay, you're not living a good name.
My life.
This will affect not just you. It will affect your generation. Because the last one I'm going to handle here because of time is generational wealth.
Okay.
It's going to affect you. The bad name you are living for yourself now, you are living it for your community. There are places now, when you mention that place, somebody will say, my child will not marry there.
Oh, yes.
I don't want my child to marry there. Don't have anything to do with them. Even as I'm getting old. I had a man tell the daughter, if you marry that place, I'll write from my grave. It was that bad. You don't know what bad names. It will affect your business. Yeah, you are into this kind of thing. They said, I would have loved to do this business, but your people are like this.
People are like this.
Which is what just one person started. And when they mention these communities, it's not like everybody in that community is
like that.
It's you. That's not wealth. A good name is better than millions you carry about. There are men in the community, they may not have anything, but when they raise their hands to talk, everybody quiet. You and your money, nobody comes to you. Because there is no reputation. You're a reputation risk. That's not wealth.
That's it.
That's not wealth.
A good name is better than precious ointment.
A good name is better than precious ointment.
And the day of death.
Look at Proverbs 22 verse 1. Proverbs 22 verse 1.
Proverbs
22 verse 1. Yes.
22:1.
I'm having serious pressure to run a kind of master class for people. I'll give them numbers to call.
Okay.
It's going to be strictly. There'll be several calls. Almost my DM is filled up.
Okay.
You know, so I'm going to select just 50. Show them few things they need to know about wealth creation.
Okay.
Not because almost everybody now is a leadership coach. And I don't want to be a professor of economics and a victim of poverty. That wouldn't be right at all. You just need to be trained.
Proverbs 22.
Verse 1.
Verse 1. A good name is rather to be chosen.
A good name is rather to be chosen.
Than great riches.
Than great riches.
And loving favor rather than silver and gold.
That makes the point. A good name. Most people don't care about it, though. They do whatever they like. They live that life for rascality.
Is that gold and silver?
Somebody said, go look for money. I don't care how you look for it. We care. One day you pay for it. You see that the money you have is no longer buying anything for you.
It's nothing after
Nobody regards you. When they say richest men in the world, you think that these people they call richest men are really rich. There are some criminals
who are richer,
but they don't count them.
They don't count them.
The society don't count them. That's why they count those who made their money legitimately and in the right way. Good name. So influence. Wealth is influence when it's done rightly. James chapter 2 verse 7. We'll take that and we'll go to community wealth. Yes.
Okay. James 2.
Verse 7. Yes. James chapter 2 verse 7.
Okay. Verse 7 says, do not they blaspheme that worthy name by which ye are called.
Mm-hmm. Do not blaspheme
that worthy name.
That good name.
By which you are called.
Especially the use of this generation. That's a name your father rose with. It's like, what do you call it? A marathon race. He just handed the baton to you. You rather do anything to keep that name. My late father would tell me, don't ever let it not be through any of it that the virtuous name of this family
is tainted.
Tainted. I've gotten favor through that name. Same I want to do with my kids. Somebody will call and say, are you son of Ralph? He said, oh my goodness, your dad was this. Oh, please come in. No, don't worry. Come in, you guys can go. The secretary, no. This one, the dad was, do you know the meaning of that? Do not blaspheme that name. That's wealth. Name is wealth.
Name is wealth.
It opens doors. Several doors. Today, in the name of Jesus Christ. Doors are opening. That's how powerful.
Shackles are broken.
Knees bow. That's how important names. When I will teach about purpose and identity, you don't put a name except you have tried the product. That's why Mercedes with Tessron, then they'll put something like a cross in front. That's the identity. I've seen a situation in America where about 286,000 cars were recalled.
Because it was faulty.
They said something faulty, we have to save our name. And we apologize. Several companies will recall. Yeah. But before they recall, you must have signed their warranty. And that warranty says, this product shall not be repaired by an unauthorized dealer or repairer. Same with your life. Who speaks to you? God is that producer. He's recalling you. That's why he said, this is not the life I gave you. This one you're living now. Hand it back over to me. I need to overhaul you. If it's possible. You've been called back. Return your character to God.
We are recalling you.
Rejuvenate me. This is not how you are made. This is not God's. Are you proud? I mean, can God be proud of you? You know, God said, I know Job. I know this because I know this. Can God shake it? You know, some parents will say, that's my son. Are you even proud of it? You know, those days in school, some kids will see their parents and dodge. That same way God looks at you with shame. When Adam messed up, he said, where art thou? Does it mean that God was blind? He said, I was trying to get leaves to cover myself. He started seeing the nakedness of his shame. That's the way it is with name. There's something about identity. When you lose your identity. Why are we having young men trying to get into female or whatever? These are people that have lost their identity. Yes. They're even confused because they don't know where they belong to. The problem of identity is a very serious thing. That's why when God looked at this gentleman, he said, what is your name, Jacob? You say, my name is Jacob. God said, no. And when your father asked you, who was your blind father, half blind, asked you, you told him Esau. It's a problem of identity. Yeah. So I ask you now, I am Almighty God, the insurmountable consultant, the all-seeing God. What is your name? He now opened up. I am a supplanter. I'm a thief. He said, from today, you've messed up that name. That identity is gone. You're no longer going to be called Jacob. From today, you will now be Israel, the strength of God. Some people need a change of name. From frustration to fortification, mistake to miracle. You messed up that name. It's identity, and it's very important. Influence. Next one, community wealth, because of time.
Okay.
That's why I said I need to, there are 50 people. Call the numbers I'm going to give later. Find out whether you can fit into those 50. Because I know a lot of people are calling it. I'm going to select 50. I will teach about kingdom wealth and creating it. And what it's all about. Some of these things we've talked, including marriages. Let's experiment with that. I call it testing the mic onto the auditorium will be ready.
Okay.
That's what we're going to community wealth.
50 of them.
Yes, I'm going to select them and turn them around in all these things we are teaching. So I'm going to give you a number they can call and it's by registration. Because we know how many people are expecting because of the accommodation we have. Community wealth. What is it all about? Helping others to achieve their potentials. You were in the market recently. That's what it's all about. All right? That's what it's all about. How many people around you can look back and say, thank you for this man? There are people today you can't fight. There are people you can't fight today. If the people they are helping pray against you,
it's over.
Hey. You know, the Bible says, whosoever giveth to the poor, lendeth to God, and God will repay him. That's what the book of Proverbs said. There are thousands of men today. Just here at Dr. Save a Life Foundation, every Sunday afternoon, people come there to eat free. Somebody is busy bringing out money. Bags of rice are cut open. They are eating and eating and eating and going home and saying, God bless this man. God bless this group. God bless this organization. And you come and get funny around such people. You kill yourself. Community wealth is one kind of shield that God gives people for protection. There are people today, people are praying for. You don't mess with them. There are old men and women that would have died. I said, if not that this my son helped my health would have gone. If you go on air, you see several people today that said, oh, this hospital, Dr. Save a Life Foundation have been sponsoring people to get in there and receive this one. These are major surgeries that would have cost millions, and they are receiving it free. That's community wealth. That's what it's all about. Helping others to achieve their potentials. All right? Yeah. So it's not all about what I have. How much can it help to help others? People talk about community wealth when you are gone. There are several people today. For instance, the man who produced Apple is no longer here. Yeah. But you and I say talk about Apple phone.
We still use it.
What will you be remembered for? That's what community wealth is all about. What can somebody say, oh, thank God for this guy? He's not here. But the influence, which is the community health, is still there. You are remembered for what you saved others when you are gone. So that's why people should understand about. Look at 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 17.
1 Timothy chapter 6.
Yes. 1 Timothy chapter 6. Verse 17 to 19.
Okay.
Chapter 6.
Verse what?
17 to 19.
17 to 19. Mm. 17 to 19 reads, command those who are rich.
Command those who are rich.
In the things of this life.
They are wealthy here. They have a lot of money. Mm-hmm.
Not to be proud.
They shouldn't be proud.
But to place their hope not in such.
Let them practice spiritual wealth. 1.
To place their hope not in such an uncertain thing as riches.
Let them practice spiritual wealth. Mm-hmm.
But in God.
That's spiritual wealth.
Who generously gives us everything for our enjoyment.
Good. Now, go ahead.
18.
Mm-hmm.
Command them to do good, to be rich in good works.
Let them start practicing community wealth. Now, we are getting 2 kinds of wealth under one. Yeah. Let them practice community wealth.
To be generous.
Yes.
And ready to share with others.
Why?
In this way, they will store up for themselves.
They are storing for themselves.
A treasure.
A treasure. That's what community wealth is all about.
Storing up treasure. Which will be a solid foundation for the future.
So that takes us to the last one, which is generational wealth. That same scripture.
Yeah.
For the future.
For the future.
What kind of wealth? In Yoruba land today, few individuals came up with an ideology. I told you wealth is an ideology. So that is generational wealth. Do you know in Yoruba land, a woman of 90-something years is a graduate? I'm being frank to you. Speak good English. That's an ideology that was raised by people. And he said, you look at somebody telling my great-grandmother is a graduate. She read physics. She read this. In some other regions, 60s are stark illiterates. The ideology might be trading. This other one, the ideology, some people don't even have ideology entirely. So what is that generational wealth in your family? What is an ideology? This family is known for this. There are those who are known for agriculture.
Yeah.
When I get into this next section I'm going into now, you see the kind of business God says start. But I won't give you details here.
You are going to give your 50 people.
People will have free things. That's why I stayed my 12 things. I'm on 10 things I make, so everything is free. But that's fine. I'll give you part of it. All right? Generational wealth. What is it that your family is known for? What are you imbibing? What are you preparing your children for? My late father, these things I'm doing, if you like, leave church and open your own. You must go to school first. My dad is the type that believes that education is not an option, it's a necessity. Even if you want to drink, my dad said, drink, first of all, go to school so you know the gutter to fall in. He will tell you that way.
Your education will tell you which
yes,
of
the which of the drainage to fall in. And he will say it plainly that way. He said, if you think that knowledge and education is expensive, wait until you manage illiteracy.
Yeah.
You now compare notes. You must have family and generational ideology. That generational wealth. Look at Proverbs 13:22. Proverbs 13:22. What is the ideology of the family? What is the ideology of your generation? Some people say, okay, back in the Igbo, they are traders, they are this, they are that. Yes, that's an ideology. Started with somebody, started working. They started putting education in it. You must have an ideology. You must have something in the family. There are those who say they are craftsmen. There's a particular family I go. I mean, a family I went some time ago. When you go there, you see that almost everybody there is a bone repairer. They call themselves. They are orthopedics. Okay. They didn't study it in school, but it's just with them. Generation after generation, it's just wealth
that they have been
imputed on, and it's working for them.
Wow.
I'm telling you. Wow. Proverbs 13:22
says,
yes,
good people
will
have wealth to leave to their grandchildren.
They will have what?
Wealth.
And I told you that wealth is an idea. It's not money. They have wealth to leave
to their grandchildren. But the wealth of sinners will go to the righteous.
Oh. Because they will steal themselves into firing squad, finish themselves, will carry whatever they have. That's simple. That is it. They will destroy themselves and the righteous will get. That's a word. That's an idea.
That you live for your
grandchildren. What is it? What is it? What are they looking? What's the ideology? That word idea is ideology. That generational wealth. Most people are not looking into it. You're working towards it. This is where everybody is going to. As they grow, they just fit in. Some are sports. Yes. His father was this. You could see it. Yeah. It's wealth. It's an idea. They believe that. Yeah.
For lawyers.
Music.
Yeah.
This is the father of this thing, and it's like his dad. And they're making good music. And from there, they're billionaires. That's why it's wealth. People reduce wealth into shile and half, as they call it in Igbo language, they say shile and half. So that takes us three type of people in this entrepreneurship we're teaching. All right? But some of these details,
you will save it. We've heard. Thank you.
Number one, poor people.
Yeah.
You'll be shocked that the people you think that are poor are not really poor. 2, rich people. 3, wealthy people. Poor people, rich people, wealthy people. Is it possible I'm rich yet not wealthy?
Exactly. Yes. I was just about to ask
yes.
that. How is that?
That is what I'm teaching. Poor people always think about money. Everything money. Oh, a salad. That's why they say...
It's like I'm in that category.
I don't know.
I'm always thinking...
Somebody was saying you level grade yourself. You know, they speak around, I'm in grade level. Yeah. And they keep their hands like you have level graded yourself. And that's all they know. Money. Poor. I'll give details of that. Number 2, rich people think about things. House, car, dress, my land, this watch I'm wearing now. That's why some of them, when they're working, they're doing this thing. You see a young boy, then blim, whatever nonsense. Blink, all those kind of things. He's rich, but he's not wealthy. Go and check around. You will never see any wealthy man carry a note of bundle of Cartier and spread up. No, he's not a wealthy man.
He's a rich man.
Well, to tell you the difference, you can never see anywhere. Check in both in Nigeria and here. If you have ever seen any wealthy man tear and be throwing up. If not partly money means road rich. All right? The wealthy people think about ideas. New principles. You see the difference? These ones think. These ones gather. The other ones are accent. Before you get to this third stage, you would have passed the first two and the second one. A poor man is a man who has no idea, though he has cash. All they do is, just why when they get the money, they eat it.
Yeah.
They say, they use the word I chop them.
You have to survive.
Yes, I have to survive. So get money, nothing, no innovative idea, no nothing. Just bam. Wealthy people don't talk about money. They give ideas how the money works. All right? And I'm going to start breaking that down so that you understand it and what it's all about. Ideas rule the world. Imagine in a company, an institution, in a place, let's say a hospital. If you get there as early as 5 o'clock, people are cleaning, wonderful things, sweating. A consultant comes in by 11 o'clock, leaves 11:15, earns millions. You that have been cleaning since 7.
Nothing.
It's like
peanuts.
And like, what is going on? But this guy have been sweating. No? A doctor by class, maybe days. This one comes in and said, just like I tell people, somebody is having pain on the head or having headache. A consultant comes in. Meanwhile, the other doctors who doesn't know what it's all about have given almost 3 surgeries on the back, this and that. A consultant comes in, you are just giving this person pains unnecessarily. This problem is not from the back, it's not from base. That's a drug he needs to take on the tummy and the headache. That headache is just a symptom and not from there. So you've given 3 knife cuts already on the head. It's not from there. That's why he's a consultant. He looks into your eyes, he tells you don't even know, he just looks into your eyes. One day, Dr. Richard was looking at somebody, said, come closer, he came. He said, open your eyes, he opened, he said, there's no blood in you. And when they did the full blood count, the person was blown off. And it was like, how did you see this? Have you become a prophet? We started laughing. That's a level you get into this. All right? It's all about being creative. That's why wealthy people are ideas. They are inventors. They are more concerned about inventing. And that's where the wealth is. One of the richest men in the whole world, I don't want to mention them. Okay, to be precise, Bill Gates resigned from the board chairman of his Microsoft. And when he was interviewed, what is your problem? He left from that prestigious position of a board chairman and went into operation. He said, when I left and became board chairman, I was about switching into a rich man. Because I stopped inventing, I stopped thinking. Though he was making billions. Yeah. Are you getting my point?
From his previous ideas.
From his previous ideas, thank you. But he wouldn't know at that point, something has stopped in him. That's why when Facebook started, it was just Facebook. I remember I was in California. I heard that Facebook now has video. Before I know, there are things, today people are talking about monetizing. Yeah. It's somebody's idea, whatever you see. It's somebody's idea, and that's what you are selling somebody's idea. You are making money out of something. We are talking about Save a Life devices. It's an idea. You haven't seen it anywhere on earth. That you could not stay in your village and do something. Somebody will sit in the hospital without this and you'll be seen. It's somebody's idea. And that's the difference between a wealthy man. A rich man is the one that will sell that idea produced by a wealthy man and start spreading the cash. This one is not concerned. He's thinking about thoughts. And that's where the money is.
What solves problems?
Yes. It's a level of kingdom thinking. The kingdom of God is not built on money. It's built on ideas. What can you think out? 2 people are looking at. Pay me to remove this trash. The rich man pays a poor man
to remove it.
So the rich man brings the tipper, or whatever you call it. I want to use the local language, which is a truck. Or so pays the poor man who used the shovel to load, to scoop it. So if you think the rich man and the wealthy man is the one that said, I could convert this refuse into electricity. You see the difference between 2 of them? They were looking at the same refuse bin. This one was seeing carrying shovel. That's where, because I got 7,500 per day. If I load this tipper, 14,000. That's where his ear stops. This other one, if I get tipper, move, contract. That's where his own here ends. But for this guy, you guys, both of you, I don't even need you. I'm going to turn this into electricity. You will also buy. Because when electricity comes, both
the poor man and you, the rich man, you will all purchase.
You are getting where I'm going now. You see where it is. Yeah. All right. So look at John chapter 1 verse 1. Maybe we'll look at something there. All right. God started this in John 1:1. How he saved the world from it. Look at John chapter 1 verse 1.
John 1:1. In the beginning. The Word already existed.
The Word.
And the Word was with God. And the Word was God. From the very beginning, the Word was with God.
The Word means logos. Express logos. We have the Rhema, the Logos. All right? By the time we start going further, I'll tell you about dunamis and exousia. These are all terms, big words, and we are supposed to understand. It's an expressed idea. The creation of the world was an idea from God. That's what I want you to understand. A wealthy man is thinking. If you know any person, I don't know whether you know, from this point, you'll now begin to know whether you know a rich man
or not.
From time to time, a wealthy man will tell you, I like to be alone. Go and start investigating. Please give me 30 minutes, I need to be alone. You always distracted. That's why you hardly get them. They are thinking, how do we turn this? There used to be a time, you and I stands in a place waiting to make call. If it's in Nigeria, Nitel. Somebody sat down and said, we can't continue like this. You call from the US, your relatives have to go to the city to go wait for their own turn. And when they do that thing, please run, before you come, they say it has gone off, they start killing him again. Somebody's idea it is to now turn it. And you start hearing. Alright? It's an idea. So, you are as poor as your idea.
You're as poor as your idea.
You are as rich
as your idea.
As your idea. Everything on earth was an idea. Everything begins as an idea. Big ideas, big things. Small ideas,
small things.
Small things. Another thing you need to note is money is pursued by the poor.
Money is pursued.
The poor pursues money.
Okay.
The rich accumulates it. The wealthy creates money.
The rich just accumulate.
The poor just pursue it. Every second of the day. I'm pursuing my, what do they call it? Daily bread. Anywhere money die, they use the phalanx. I'm pursuing money. Pursue money. If it's in Igbo, they say Tobago. They don't know it's poverty. That's a poverty mentality. The rich accumulates. That's why they're greedy. They pack here. Sometimes they don't even know what they need it for. They hide under the pillow. They hide in the roof. That is how you know them. This is why when you change currency, the rich will develop heart attack. Not the wealthy. If you like, change your money 100 times, it won't affect the wealthy. The people it affects more.
The rich and
the rich. The poor, the poor is pursuing. They don't even have any. Not to talk about how it affects the people it affects more and the rich. But the wealthy recreates it. They innovate with the money. So if you need things to feel important, if you need money to feel important, you are the poor. That is it. So in the midst of global crisis, you see wealthy people don't panic. They don't. They think things to do. During the time of COVID, that's when they made a lot of money. They went into innovation. The idea of some of these things are seen now. Why some people are crying, oh my goodness, we can't come to hospital. Oh my goodness, there are hospitals are now having COVID. A man sat down, say, stay in your house. Just open your phone.
Hospital will come to you.
Just open your phone. Hospital will come to you. That is innovation. That is thinking. Taking advantage of that thing that every other person was running from. That's how the wealthy think. The poor is, are we going to eat this period? I won't even go to market. Or they say market is closing. So my life is closing. The rich will run where they park the little they have.
They are just stacking up their
where
house.
They are stacking to bring it. But these ones are saying, no. This is an opportunity. This is a very good opportunity. This other one said, oh, we need sanitizer. Pam. They develop one that if you now, remember a place, if you at the airport, if you match, the whole thing will sprinkle on you. Yep. That's the wealthy. Before you know it, they have circulated it in the whole airport, making their billions. You're hiding in your house, checking the ones you packed somewhere. How much have I eaten? 3,000, remaining 4. You are between poverty and rich. You are not wealthy. So when you have people saying wealthy, okay, you are not wealthy. You are just struggling between poverty and wealth. You need to. That's why I say when they attend these courses, you know where you belong to. Because I'll break it down for you to understand where. So the wealthy don't panic. All right, they don't panic. They have the energy to think. The world is looking for thinkers.
Indeed.
The world is looking for people for ideas. To be frank with you, that's why I tell people. It's not necessarily if you employ people that run around your company or industry. That's not. You need, when you say somebody is a consultant, these are people thinkers. Whether you call it situation room, those who sit down thinking for you. When I get into organizations, what I help them do is to bring out thinkers for them. Because if you can have thinkers, innovators, you go to the next level. How do we come into a place and do this station now? It's not up to, are you up to 4 months or 5? You're shaking the whole city. What happens? A group of people sat down and said, this is what is not happening, we're going to do. Nuggets of wisdom that people listen to every morning. I sat down and thought. I noticed that after preaching, after 15 minutes, people get bored. How do I get messages that is beyond 5 minutes? I will summarize something that I would have done in 3 hours. That's how Nuggets of Wisdom was invented. And if you notice early in the morning when that program, people say, "Hey, oh, this thing would have continued." That's why I want to get you. Where you want more. Where you want more. It's about thinking. It's about innovation. What do I do others are not doing? What kind of trade? When we get into the last one, which I said I will teach in my whatever, I'll tell you the ones God suggested. There are things.
We don't care whether it's 50 or not. All of us will be inside that place.
there are businesses you do. Somebody once asked you, what can I do with my quick 2005? I'll tell you businesses you do and you never fail. It's impossible. And it's in the Bible. But you don't know about them. That's why you're doing the wrong business and you're backfiring. The next thing you say, demons in your village. Poor people are always collecting money. Rich people store money and hide it. Wealthy people create and multiply money. They grow money. It takes wisdom and an idea to do what? To grow money. Look at Deuteronomy chapter 8, please. Deuteronomy chapter 8, yes. Deuteronomy chapter 8 from verse 17.
Okay.
Deuteronomy chapter 8 from verse 17. While you're a wealthy man, you can look at it from Good News. While you're a wealthy man, it's important for you to know this.
From 17, right?
Yes, Deuteronomy
8:17. Says, so then, you must never think that you have made yourselves wealthy.
You must never think when you become wealthy.
That you made yourselves
that
wealthy.
You made yourself wealthy.
By your own power and strength.
By your own ability. Another word for power is ability. And strength. Reason.
Remember
that
it is the Lord your God.
It is the Lord God
who gives you the power.
Who gave you the ability
to become rich.
Who gave you the dunamis, the exousia, delegatis non poter delegere in law. Who gave you the ability?
I was wondering whether that was English. What was that?
Delegated power you give to others. Who gave you the power
to become rich?
To become rich. Don't ever make that mistake of bragging. Because haughty spirit and pride comes before you fall. You know, if you see the effort I make to be this, that's why you fall. Don't forget this part. That it is God that gave you the ability, the wisdom, those thinking.
Like you said, the exousia.
The exousia, the dunamis, the thinking part of you. Not everybody is thinking, oh. There are those that try to think, they're thinking are nonsense. All they think is how to eat. Why people are inventing scientific discoveries, some people are inventing kidnapping, evil,
yes,
and all manner of criminality.
New styles.
That God gave you innovation to think and be productive with entrepreneurship, whatever. Almost on the internet, everybody is well created, this and that, leadership. Let me teach you how to make 5,000. I don't blame them. That's the level they have. You know, if I train you, you make 40,000. Because of the level of hunger, people are rushing in. But there's more to it. Look at NLT. See whether you have that version. NLT, yes. Genesis 26.
All right. Let me get the NLT. NLT is the New Living Translation.
Yes. Genesis 26, verse 12.
All right.
Genesis 26.
Trying to get there. Hold on. Genesis 26.
From verse 12 to 15.
Genesis 6.
26, yes.
Is it Genesis 26?
Yes.
Okay. Genesis 26.
From verse 12.
From 12. Okay. And I have it here to say, when Isaac planted his crops that year.
When Isaac planted his crop that year.
He harvested 100 times more grain than he planted.
You see, wealth is about multiplicity. It's about increase. I told you that the poor always collecting money. The rich people store money, hide it here and there. But the wealthy creates, multiply. It requires ability. It requires wisdom. It requires dunamis. It requires exousia, authority from God. The steps of a good man are ordered. You need that wisdom. Through his wisdom, the house is built. And by his understanding, it's established. When people say, when I get into conference, they said, this conference thing, we don't want God thing. Only a fool that said there is no God. That's why you fail. That's why you get frustrated when that's a place of God in your success.
Oh, yes.
Success is minimizing error. So when you get into conferences, they say they're speaking grammar. Entrepreneurship without God will always lead you people into these multiplicities of stupidity. There's a place for God in that life to give you idea, to give you ability. What others are not seeing is what makes you, oh my goodness, somebody was just seen somewhere and said, what are the people packing there? They say bones they got from cow. Said he drove past that place severally. Someone one day was coming up and said, what are these plates made from? He spoke to a friend that spoke to a friend. I said, bring it, we'll grind it or something. After grinding it, they added this and added that. Spoons, plates started coming out of it. He told a group of this guy that worked in Abattoir and said, do you mind my paying you people? They said, pay us, something we have been throwing away. Just tell us where we'll be packing it for you. Thank you, we'll even pay you because going to this distance to throw it. But then I said, I asked him one day, what does this guy do? How many dogs does he have in his house that he's packing these kind of bones? Until now realized that this guy that started picking this bone have started employing people. Started buying lorries. Because he started developing spoons, plates out of bones. Artifacts in the house. Grind them, do this thing, come up with something. That's an idea that came in another person this way. And you know one funny thing about humans? Everybody started picking bone.
Okay.
When you don't have the idea, you end up turning your house into a refuse bin because you pack that bone, you wouldn't know what to do with it. That's why people came up with idea. Every other person will not come in. That's one thing about everybody. Phone, mic, whatever was an idea. Today we have MTN, Glow, Airtel, but it started with someone. Let me tell you. In 1886, Carl Benz came up with something with 4 legs, and we call it car today. It was an idea. In 1903, the Reese brothers came up with something that could displace aerodynamics, and you call it today aeroplane. In 1887, Alexander Graham Bell came up with something that you can use with a wave to reach another person. We call it telephone. 1890, the Glenmore Macaulay came up with something which we are here now. You call radio. In 1822, Charles Babbage came up with something you now call computer today. In 1877, Emilia Banner came up with something you now call microphone, which is the one that's before me. These are all inventors. So what Carl Benz came up with today, which you call Benz, that's where you got Mercedes-Benz. Is the only Mercedes-Benz we have today?
No.
You've developed into so many other cars. The same thing with aeroplane. You've had jet, airliner, fighters, and the rest of them. You have a telephone. It wasn't the person that developed wireless telephone, but he came up with. So somebody can still replicate and multiply the ideas.
Yeah.
Do you get my point? Yeah, give it expansion. Somebody started it. Yeah. But that same person that started thinking, just like in medicine, the days of cut and join. Because when we were growing up, it's only appendicectomy. That doctor wanted to do appendix. Today they have all kinds of things which you are hearing today. Endoscopy, hysteroscopy, cameras can now be introduced into your system, tell you what is happening to you. The devices we are coming up today now tells you how you can stay in your house, check up whether you have preeclampsia, have hypertension, be able to transfer it, using all kinds of these things to work. And you are like, is this thing happening in my generation? People are thinking. You have to think. This is why most of this program, if you notice today, I've not even mentioned, are you coming on? If you are coming to Thursday, fine. If you're not coming, stay there. That's where I want it now because we're changing things. We're changing the dynamics. As a matter of fact, very soon, if you don't register, we're not going to allow you in.
Oh, wow.
But that's why it's going to, because I notice that anything you do free, people don't take it free. I have invitations. I'm not joking. I have invitations all over Nigeria. Come and talk to us. My inbox is filling up. The problem is time. Because I have to do the country director thing. I can't leave the major thing I'm here to do, now going about for. But there are a few of the speaking engagements I'm going to. So my time is very limited. But you just have to understand it, that you need to learn. Void of information is enough of deformation. All right? So Isaac multiply. That is wealth. Finish it up, okay?
That was
12.
It says, He harvested 100 times more grain that he planted.
That is multiplicity, all right?
For the Lord blessed him.
For the Lord. Don't forget that part.
Yes, for the Lord blessed
For the Lord blessed him. When you wake up every morning, Lord bless me. Bless me and my family. I have heard Dr. Richard say sometime I place things on here. I say, Lord, at this point, I need your wisdom. I need your divine intervention in this. Don't think that this thing just happened. You listen, the steps of a good man is not in a man that walks to direct his step. The steps of a good man are ordered of the Lord.
Ordered.
It got to a point in your life, you need to say, God bless me.
Order my steps.
Yes. Jabez prayed that God will bless me. Bless me, I've suffered. Bless me, I've gone through trial. Bless me, I've given this my best. This is an idea, I don't want to fail. Help me. And when it start working, you will know. Yes.
All right. He became a very rich man.
He became a very rich man, that's one.
And his wealth.
You see, from rich man, he became what?
Wealthy.
When there is multiplicity, he's no longer rich.
He's not married. He became a rich man.
As long as you are rich, store that money. You're just rich.
You're not wealthy.
But when they reach or whatever continue to grow and multiply, then he has gone into wealth. You need to understand the difference now. So when you are there, in my account every day, I just kept 10 million somewhere. You're just a rich man. You're not wealthy. But when I now continue, maybe next week, you discover that you can be wealthy and sick. You will return back to poor man.
So to be wealthy and healthy.
He said, it is my wish that you prosper and be in good health. One disease can return you to a poor man. One cancer can return you from that your wealth. You sell, instead of multiplying, you start depreciating.
And then you can't generate ideas.
You can't generate ideas because you are sick. That's why I was saying, work the two together, be healthy. Remember, there are certain points I didn't get to do until I've handled physical wealth.
Okay.
Where you have to take care of your health. There's something that will happen to you. Even as I'm preaching now, you're not listening. Because you're going through dialysis. Because you're going through chemotherapy. Because the doctors are battling in ICU to get you alive. So where will you be to listen to me?
To listen.
Whatever we are talking about now, you can't even sign
nothing.
Your check because your hand is shaking. Parkinson's syndrome. You can't. At that point, all the prayer is, I want to stay alive. And every second people are checking, did he make it today? They said yes. Let's try tomorrow.
Let's try tomorrow.
Let's try tomorrow. There are people living that kind of life. Their life is counted in hours, and I'm being frank to you.
What? I mean, the people who are saying, let's try tomorrow.
Let's try tomorrow to see whether he's still going to pull through. And that's not, with all the wealth you have. Now, so at that point, look at what he said. You take it to verse 15, yes.
Okay. It says here that he acquired so many flocks of sheep and goats.
No, try back where he said the wealth, from rich to wealth.
He became a very rich man.
He became a very rich man.
And his wealth continued to grow.
And his wealth continued to grow.
He acquired many flocks of sheep.
When that wealth comes, he started increasing. Yeah. In our time, lorries. But when the mention camels, it means lorries.
Flocks of sheep,
Peugeot cars and the rest of them,
and goats, herds of cattle, and servants. That the Philistines became jealous of.
One of the signs that will tell you that you've become wealthy is envy. If people are not envying you, are just rich. In fact, they are struggling between poverty and. Whenever people begin to envy you, there's something about it. I'm being frank. But one thing also you saw there is he also got servants.
Yes.
That means there were people. So he went through that social wealth. I mean that community wealth and influence we talked about. So because is your wealth touching people? How many people is whatever you think you have? All right. How many people are feeding through you? Do you understand what I'm talking about? How many people can confidently say through you, God bless them? Finally, I'm going to give you, but this one is in our master class. I feel like keeping it.
Just give us small. Give us a little.
I'm going to give you, check whether you have, okay, maybe you take that version you're looking at. What kind of business can I do, somebody will say.
Which book?
What kind of business? Genesis chapter 2. What kind of business can I do and that will match my economy, all right? Like Annie said, I'm just going to give a tip of it so that when you now register,
you get the full dose.
You get the full dose. Do you have Message Bible?
What Bible?
Message Bible, MSG.
MSG.
Yes.
Let me see.
Genesis chapter 2 from verse 9. Genesis chapter 2. I'm just going to give, because of time, give a bit of it. When we now break it down, you get how you're going to go about it, the processes of going to. I'm going to mention a number for those of you that are listening. You can call and tell, I want to be part of the 50 people and my family for the master class. It's going to be strictly on registration, all right? All right, so Genesis chapter 2, verse 9. Do you have it? If you don't have it,
MSG,
read the one you have.
no, I don't
okay,
have
so read the one you have. Read the
That's
one you have.
the NL, the other one.
Yes, you can, please. Chapter 2.
Verse.
Or let's do your good news. I know you love good news. Do your good news. Do your good news. That's fine.
Okay.
Chapter 2, verse 9. We are fully into entrepreneurship teaching. That's what it is. We can always go back to our family
Genesis
stuff.
2:9.
Yes.
He made all kinds of beautiful trees grow there and produce good fruit.
The first business God recommended for anybody to go in is agriculture.
He made all kinds of beautiful trees.
The first
grow
business God recommended is agriculture. You will never go down if you handle agriculture well. Whether fishery, snaring, poultry, what have you. At your backyard,
Planting.
whatever. As little as it is. Planting, harvesting. Details of it is not what I'm teaching here. But agriculture is number one. Even if you say, oh, I don't know, I should have been a medical doctor. Even the doctors will tell you this drug, take it after
Eating.
after food. You need it. This is food. And agriculture is one business. If you understand how to scale it, I'm not talking about that, my friend, that is into restaurant before 10 o'clock is drunk. Half of the meat is gone because it doesn't have discipline.
And anybody that comes to buy, he said, take what you want. Just drop the money
Because
there.
we begin to look at the discipline in opening this business.
Exactly.
So number one that God recommended, I'm not giving details on how to go about it, the scaling of it, and whatever. But on a general scale, is agriculture. Number two.
What
Read.
else? Same place.
Yes.
Okay. He made all kinds of beautiful trees grow there and produce good fruit. In the middle of the gardens stood the tree that gives life and the tree that gives knowledge
We will give the details of that.
of what is good and what is bad.
Keep reading.
A stream flowed in Eden and water.
Number two, water business.
Water.
Person asking me that I have 30,000. Water business. I don't take alcohol. Maybe you don't take, some people take, I don't take soda, I don't take this. But there's one thing you can't reject.
Water. Water is life.
But details of it is not what.
You're
It is
sharing.
something I'll sit with them and teach you. Number three,
Going to open pure
keep
water.
reading.
A stream flowed in Eden and watered the garden. Beyond Eden, it divided into 4 rivers. The first river is the Pishon. It flows from the country of Havilah. Pure gold is found there.
Number three, gold. Jewelries, gold. Don't go into gold. I'll tell you who, between the poor, the rich, and the wealthy, where they fall here. Let's keep it for another time.
Keep it for another time.
Keep going.
Pure gold is found there and also rare perfume and precious stones.
Resins. Resins. That's what you see there. Means oil and gas. I wanted you to get Message Bible so that when these things mentioned there. Resins means oil and gas. Precious stones means diamond. So know where you belong in these businesses. And I will take it one after the other. That woman that said, I sell food. Why is it that I went somewhere in Abuja? Okay? I was lodging in town, in Asokoro. In fact, I moved from my town to Asokoro. But my friend said, we're going to eat. Took me down outskirts of Abuja. And I'm like, is this kidnapping or what? And he was laughing. Because where he was taking me to, he said, if you want to eat real meal, he's here. By the time we got there, the environment alone. But you know the funny thing? Almost all the bourgeois and the cream, la cream.
There.
With their sirens, senator this and that. I'm like, who is this? What kind of charm is this woman holding us with? Good meal. Fresh fruits. Vegetables. Just in a very, I would call it funny environment. But she knows what she was doing. They were not just eating, they were also buying.
Take away.
Tell me how many millions that woman will be making. And see these young men and women dressed up. She had them over 40 of them, running all over, this and that. People are buying in droves when they finished eating, they buy. I'm like, why can't we eat in our hotel? I say, eat what? What are they cooking? That's what he said.
When there's food here.
Go around this your Port Harcourt. You will see people lining in some spots in the evening. I asked them the other day, what are they fetching? They say, what? Maybe you've not seen them. In their containers. They said it's from Shell or whatever. They are looking for good
Water.
Lines. You see big men stopping and from their homes, running away from bad water. Let's leave it. You want to come and learn everything here.
I put on my ears.
You want to come and attend the master class and help yourself.
Master class is...
I'm going to give a number. Call the gentleman and let him know. I want to be part of the 50 people that will be attending this, and I would like to register. 080-680. Why you call your own numbers? Maybe we'll take some calls. 080-680-24271. I call the number again. 080-680-24271. 080-680-24271. We're selecting this for now, just 50 for Port Harcourt.
So it's on first come basis. And I'll try to call the number here.
And he's so worried.
Let me see if I can book my own from the back door.
We'll tell you what gold business is all about. If you are the poor and you're going into diamond business, how much do you have? Where did you get your capital? How do you raise capital?
For that, exactly.
Why are you going into gold? Who talked you into that? If you are the rich and you're going into water, how do you want to do it? Do you know how to do it with class? If you are the poor and you are going into these jewelries, always know your class. Is it possible I can graduate from agriculture, water into gold? Absolutely. Okay? So the wealthy now creates the well for the poor to get water.
Get water.
All right? So the rich buys the gold. The wealthy, they are learning everything here. We'll now create the gold. Turn it into this beautiful earring that Hannah is wearing. Turn it into watches because they are inventors. Turn it into golden microphones that celebrities use.
Yeah.
And the rich will sell it to the poor because those ones are always looking money to buy. Wow.
Please call the numbers again that we're supposed to call.
Just one number.
Yes.
080-680-24271. 080.
Slowly now.
080-680-24271. Strictly by registration. But let's take the call.
All right, then. For you to call into the show this morning, the numbers for you to dial are 0817 888 889. That's 081 87 888 889. You can also dial 091 6000 8890 091 6000 8890. I'm also entertaining WhatsApp and SMS messages. I'm taking that on 091 6000 8898 091 6000 8898. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay, I can't make out what you're saying. Call back if you can, please. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. What's your name?
My name is Ephraim calling from GRA concerning the
Ephraim from GRA. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. I want to know the day and the venue for this business class.
Call the number, they will give you the details. But this evening we are meeting by 4 p.m. So you can have more details if you are coming for the Save a Life master class this evening. The Family Circle program we do. Today is Thursday, 4 p.m. I'll be there live. I'm already in Port Harcourt. 38 to your street by Stadium Road.
All right, you're welcome. Okay. That's how we call those numbers. If you want to ask any question as regards when the master class will go on, where it's going to go on, all those details will be shared if you call the numbers earlier mentioned by Barrister Nadi.
We're looking at the end of the month, which is the first Saturday of next month. So
Okay.
if there's any change, we'll let you know.
Alright.
Call the numbers and they'll give you details.
But to call us here, you can ask questions here. At least it's not yet the masterclass, it's the pre-masterclass. You can call us here. Numbers are 081 87 888 889. Hello? Hello? Or 091 6000 8890. The second number is 091 6000 8890. WhatsApp, SMSs, all to 091 6000 8898. Hello, good morning.
Oh, good morning.
Yes, please, what's your name?
My name is Steven. I'm calling from Rupopo.
Stephen from Rupoko. Good to have you. Go ahead, Stephen.
All right. Please, I love the program. I love what you people are doing, and I really appreciate. If I call the number, they will give me the details.
Yes, please.
All right. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay. I feel like I need to take a break and call that number so I can book my space first. Before.
Okay, so
all
for
these
those
people-
who want both counseling on their marriage and the rest, please, this evening we are
Family.
going to bring out time. Yes, last week we couldn't do it because of time. You want counseling section or mentorship, because I always have people to have mentors.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning, ma.
Yes, please. What's your name?
My name is Sunday Kwe.
All right, Sunday, where are you calling from?
I'm coming from Woji.
Good to have you. Go ahead.
I love this your program and this radio station too much. If I was able to listen to this radio, I would not enter plenty problem. I would like to attend this program this evening.
That is a great idea. We'll be looking forward to having you. 4 p.m. is the time. Save a Life, Uyo Street, off Stadium Road is the venue.
What award will I come with? When I
Nothing.
want
Just come with your family if you want, but don't come with anything.
come? Okay, I'm very, very happy.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, but let me remind us that the one this evening is the Family Circle, right?
Family Circle program. Everything you are learning is we rehearse them there. We give more details. Yeah.
Family Circle, it's for family. And then you also mentioned those who have been wanting to have counseling. So that couldn't happen last week.
Yes, we want to give them dates that will happen. You follow us on Facebook too. This
Exactly.
program is live on Facebook.
You simply search for Austin Inadi
AUSTEN, N-E-N-E-A-D-I.
on Facebook. We're live now, but I'm also sure that they can post whatever inquiries they have and reach out to you even through that platform. All right, let me take this text message here. Those numbers he called are the ones you're supposed to call to get yourself booked in for that program. It's not here. That number he mentioned earlier, that's the one to call. Then you will get booked, okay? It's as simple as that. The numbers I gave now is for you to call in and ask any questions or, any suggestions that you have. Good morning, Annie and the barrister. I want to know if it's possible for some of these principles to work for us who are not Christians.
Very much.
So, there you are.
Very much.
So you can't be part of this too.
Exactly.
Please, you have not been left behind. So be part of the moving train. Call in. The principles will work for you too. Good morning, Annie. Please, can I have his number? Please call that number.
Okay, so this number is just to reach out to make sure you are part of the 50 people you are selecting. Hopefully you will be 080-680-24271. Let them know I would like to register for the end of the month program. Then from there we can pick your own number and be calling you subsequently when the programs come.
All right, okay. Good morning. Please, I would like to ask a question. I am the one who does most of the hard work at home. My husband, since he lost his job, has really not done much. I find this very frustrating, and he says I complain too much. At what point is it okay if I don't tolerate this laziness? Adora.
Laziness indeed. The main fact that the man lost his job, I think he's going through something. I wouldn't know when he lost that job. There are people like that. I told you naturally, when a woman begins to feed a man, that is a disorder, and that's a problem. So that young man might be going through psychological, if not depression.
Yeah.
You need to give him space to recover. Now you're using it against him. So emotionally, he's messed up. If instead of him recovering now, he's sinking more. Because he noticed every day, because you're not the one feeding. I'm sure you started disrespecting him, because we talked about women respecting their husband and husband loving their wife. So the fact that you're now feeding him, which is, I don't know how to place that one. It's not even what God planned.
If he's also been out of work for so long, shouldn't he start looking for something? If he has been
You know why I don't
long.
like doing this thing on air until I see the both parties. When you hear, fair hearing, when you hear from the both sides, you'll be shocked that what you're hearing now may not be exactly what happened.
Alright, we'll take this and then I'll get back to the phone lines. Good morning. I have completely seen a turnaround in my life after listening to this program for so long. Please, I want to I think that's purchase. I want to purchase the book too. Annie, please stay on that case until we have that book. Samson from Abuloma, you sent that in. Samson, I will so stay on it until we get.
And I know that if we have a gang, so I should be hiding my book.
I will stay on it until we have it all. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Hello, good morning, ma. I'm Bodima.
Oh, body day well.
My name is Brown. I'm calling from Port Harcourt. Go to the trade site. I'm driving.
Okay, Brown, you're driving. Good to have you. Go ahead.
Okay. I am listening to our presenter. I just want to say something about that idea of people not having an idea for business. Like I was sharing to a friend that I'm a commercial driver. And before this time around, I have an idea of a vehicle, as in commercial, a vehicle that you can drive, carry people with provision inside. If somebody is going to Rumokoro, you carry somebody with a glass of tea or coffee or whatever inside, and the bill will be charged, giving that person a show. But when I have the idea, I call a friend, 2, 3, 4 friends. They doesn't have money to establish that. After 3 months later, vote came out. Yes, I have that idea, but there was no money to execute that idea. So many of the problems that the poor people are having is somebody to support them and bring up their vision into play, their idea into play. That's my contribution, man. Thank you very much, man.
You're welcome. Good to have that.
The first thing, the so-called poor, that's why when you say poor, they look at their pockets. They don't know that the worst poverty is poverty of the mind. When you meet the people you call rich, the first thing you tell them are problems. If you say you have idea, every rich man or wealthy man wants to hear an idea. I do tell people, especially this generation, if you are to sit with a rich man or a wealthy man for 10 minutes, what will you tell him? Sir, my house rent, I don't know where to begin. As I'm talking to you now, I have a baby. They have not even eaten in the house. The next time, the rich man or the wealthy man will block you from reaching him. But do you know what he was telling me now? If I know him, and I have enough money, and I see this as an idea, I'm giving him money. This guy can help his area. You understand? Because what is presenting is they don't present idea because they don't even know that is an idea. So how do you know a poor man? If you ask him, he tell you he's a poor man. He thinks that a rich man is somebody who has this, no. He's somebody with idea. That's a wealthy man that we talked about. Whether the money is there or not, he will eventually create the money. He will eventually create the money. All right? I just saw somebody while coming here bringing up fruits. Ability to bring, fruits together, match them, come up with fruit juice and whatever. If the world throws a lemon to you, turn it to lemonade. If they throw that milk to you, turn it into a cheese, into a yogurt. If it gets bad, let it become a cheese. Something recreate. It's the mindset I'm talking about. Poverty starts from the mind. You come to an occasion. Where is it that they say poor people sit? Inside the back. You can see that since you reduce yourself into poor people. Because it's your mind. It's not, there's some, I don't even know whether he's listening. I was with Dr. Richard the other day. He said, I don't have a chile here. But that person that doesn't tell you that, give him minutes. He's coming out with something that could generate money. Most rich men, just watch when they come to occasion, they don't have money in their pocket. They don't carry cash about. But they have ideas. And they have positive influence. Somebody went to a program, didn't have his checkbook or anything. He called someone and said, bring me that paper he had. He signed something, go to the bank and give them. Bank looked at it, this is Oga's signature. Bank honored something that looked like a bread label. That's how influential he is. I said, he wrote something at the back. Bank, sometimes you carry your check. Bank will look at it like, even with your check.
It's you.
Carry your poverty and go home. We're not, that's the way this signature not to talk
you need to sign this again.
Yes, not to talk a wealthy man telling the bank. People don't understand. That's the positive influence you carry. One, you've not disappointed in the past transaction you had with the bank. Because that's why I say when we start breaking these classes, it's not something we just do in 10 minutes and say, this is what I thought. Because to be a wealthy man, you have integrity.
Oh, yes.
This money this young man is talking about, now I call you. I'm giving you 1 million naira. Return it back to me in May. Return it back to me before May closes. So June, you now call him. Is it because you gave me money? Are you the first person to give money? All right, no problem. Go with it. If he calls me that he's suffering in July, am I going to listen to him?
No, not
that is one thing wealthy people don't do. Integrity. You must have heard about CBN, Dr. Save a Life Foundation, that because of this and happened, that it goes with these things we are talking about. What is your integrity line? Can somebody give you, a friend of mine said he gave somebody money. Let's say in Port Harcourt here, and he saw the person he gave his money, 200,000, and he was calling him, hey, oh boy, my 200,000. He said, sorry, when I come back from Lagos, he didn't know he was seeing what he was saying. It's okay, I'm also in Lagos along Rubokoro, if you say Port Harcourt.
I'm along
I'm along that Lagos Rubokoro road. Because I'm seeing you. Just because you're owing me and I'm lying. This is one thing those people you call wealthy men, they have a level of integrity to protect, which is their name. I was talking with somebody recently, said, do you know why we need to pay this tax? We may need to do things that may require tax, and we don't want this to stop us. That's integrity of wealthy men. So when you are dodging and dodging, there's also character principles that stop poor men. You need to rise up from that place. Because you're not going to be, as long as your mindset is at that level, you won't rise above the below. Master class is not just copy notes. When I say come, there's something I will teach you. You have a lot of sacrifices to make. You see a wealthy man, you think it's all up. Sometimes you think they are idiots. That's why you steal from them. I hope you know anybody you steal from is bigger than you.
Yeah, of course.
Anybody you steal from, you've reduced yourself smaller than that person. Imagine you climbing fence to steal from people, or you have told yourself, this man is bigger than me.
Bigger than me. You said something about good name earlier.
Yes.
So this person says, my father's name is Idoin, meaning native doctor. And outside, we have asked him to change it, but he refused. Things have been upside down, but he doesn't care. I am happy that I have married and changed my name to a blessed one, but I still do bother, especially for my brothers. What shall we do?
Name change is something, since you're now a Christian, possibly working on kingdom principle. Okay, but the name thing I'm talking about is name and integrity, but this one has to do with nomenclature of the name. Yeah. Okay, we're looking at semantics here and the rest. So if the name of your family, why not call you, even you as a person, if you've grown and married, you're not a man living on your own, there are possibilities of name change. I don't think, but you also have to reflect it on your certificates and the rest of it. You have to look at that area. I don't see that to be an issue, but what I'm talking about is the integrity, all right? Let it not be that somebody said, when you mention this name, is associated with fraud.
Fraud.
All right? There are people in Nigeria now that are
but now if they mention the name is associated with native doctor.
well, that's also a negative part. There are, especially politicians. Are you keeping a name your kids will be proud of? In years to come, when they mention this name, somebody will say, look for stone to throw this person. That wouldn't be good.
Swindled our
yes, money. That kind of thing. That's the point we're talking about. A good name is better than riches. Yes.